Hi there, welcome back. In this tutorial, we're going to discuss isqrt function that is newly added in Python 3.8. Now, our discussion is going to be around what it is, what it returns, and what is the method being used behind the scenes to get the output. This is the new function added to math library in Python. So in order to use this function, you need to import math library. And when you use this function, it returns the integer square root of the given non-negative integer. That means you have to pass an argument that is going to be an integer. And that is going to be a non-integer, not an integer. And it also requires to be a non-negative. So a non-negative integer to be passed on as an argument in this method, and it returns an integer output. So for any number, for example 5, the square root is going to be somewhere in between 2 and 3, but this function will result an output of 2. Earlier we were required to use two different methods and two different lines of code to get it done, but now we can do it within just a single line and with a much shorter code. Let's see this, how it works. I'm going to run, just saved it, comment out the comments, saving it again, and then running the code. This is Python isqrt.py. Let's run this. So here the first square root, it's the normal square root of any integer, that is 2.23, or in fact 2.24 if I round off. Then I created the integer square root, and I needed to for that I required two math functions. One is floor and the other one is square root. So that's a kind of bit complicated. And the last time I used just this math integer square root function, that is I square root, and it reproduced the same output. So this function has really made the life easier if you know about it, and you can use it to within your application. Generally, square root is very easy to understand, isqrt, but what does I mean? I means an integer. So if you see this in any code, you can quickly get to know about it if you have already seen the tutorial. Thank you. May you have any question regarding this, you can feel free to send me, and I'll send you more examples about it. One more thing is this function internally uses the Newton's iteration method. So in order to know more about it, you can search about it, but on the back behind the scenes, this function is using Newton's iteration method. I hope now you have a better understanding of this function, and you also know about this function and also know how to use the function.